Okay, hey there, collective. Actually, it's a collective message. It's for whoever gets drawn to this reading, but I've already pulled out some cards and started, and I want to start over. I want to start over with your message. So, yeah, so this is for anybody that feels really drawn to something in their reading, maybe a card or something. But this is the reddening card, which has to do with some sort of energy that's it's a life force energy, chi, kundalini. It's some sort of energy that's been released in your body. This is a really physical feeling, like when this energy comes. It's really physical. It's something that they're saying is speeding up your manifestations at this time. And so now more than ever, it's important about this, to pay attention to this spiral, because the spiral means that you have a choice point. Things are accelerating or decelerating rapidly. So you choose, do I want a good cycle where one good decision leads to all these other good things happening? Or am I going to make a decision that opens up a vicious cycle? But it is about a cycle that continues. And this is a choice to change the cycle, I think, is what they're saying. There's a choice here. So whoever you are, what you're dealing with is some sort of cycle. And I feel like you've probably been, I over here at the 9 Inch Nails has a album called The Downward Spiral. And so I feel kind of like the law of polarities here, where you have been on some sort of vicious cycle and you're getting out of it. And it's like, because there's one very important pivotal decision, and it determines it. Okay, it determines where this energy is going to like propel something. Yeah. They're like showing me this little toy. I've never had a toy like this, but they're showing me a toy something that you wind up, and then it it looks kind of like an airplane, but it's a toy that you wind up, and something about the way that it I don't know, they're just showing me that as like that this energy can feel like the winding up, like if you're winding up a toy, like that's how this energy can feel, because you will be propelled one way up or another. So this card is actually about you choosing the best cycle for you, the best new one for you in this sense. Okay, so no repeat here, but then I have rotation, revolution, by the card. I mean, you can tell it's a to the point kind of card. It means move from here to here, and it is talking about an internal shift or an external shift. But it is kind of it's interesting how that works. I had somebody tell me today in a comment, kind of reminds me of their comment. If you're watching, I pay attention to comments about how can you get up here and talk about being the observer, and doing things from the inside, while understanding that there are energies that can affect you on the outside. It doesn't kind of make sense, or it seems like a paradox, but we're connected to it all. It all. And I don't know if you've noticed this, but here's just an example of how that can be a paradox. Is if you were somebody, we process like emotions and energy different from human to human. Everyone has a slightly different way of doing things, because we're different in that sense, right? So some people are able to process emotions and heavy energies on the inside by doing things like removing clutter from the home. Any act of clearing, they're clearing something, cleaning something, and it is actually helping what's going on inside also. So I wanted to say that in a collective read for specifically that person that, pointed out that you can actually talk about things externally to you and still be connected to the observer, knowing that it's all happening also inside. So it gets a little bit philosophical and honestly to a point where it's a person's opinion about all of that. But so when I see this card, and just getting back to the point, sorry, I just had to address that. When you get to this card, it's if you have an internal shift, something externally is going to shift anyway. It's just, it does. It's just going to do that. But so too externally. And so that's why it also says maybe this card is telling you to move, literally move from where you are. And then the card said for this spiral, it was associated with 111. And the portal 111 was, I quickly manifest my thoughts. I keep my mind focused on my aspirations. I leave fearful thoughts in the heavens for transmutation. So fast. And then you had Jupiter come out from the heavenly bodies. And the influence of Aries, this is not a specific sign reading, but the attributes here from the sign of Aries, independence, bravery, passion. I also get confidence, but so something here. There's also something that may be a big, it actually might boost your confidence to know that one good decision here is just going to blow something up. You could have a business blow up. You could have your social media blow up. Maybe that's attached to a business. You know, something here is going to expand and you have a lot of energy to work with. That's kind of what this reading is about, is for you to be aware of the magnitude of the energy that you're working with right now. That it's a lot. And here's my bay leaf. So maybe it also has to do with what you're going to create financially for yourself here. I love the way these things smell. They smell so good. Okay, so let's just open up to the tarot and see what else do you have. But it's a paradox in that sense that one thing seems like it should mean, it, you know, in philosophy, one thing seems like it should mean something concrete, but it's not. Simplest answer would be to say it's all one. It's all one energy and everything being connected. Mirrored and connected somehow. Simplest. The High Priestess. The High Priestess. Abilities. Could be finding yourself keeping to yourself here a lot lately. You may have some actual, like I said, you might actually be going through some physical feelings of change with this card. You notice like the blood here, how the blood's like rushing to areas where there was nothing. So you can imagine kind of like a rush or something like that of energy. Some people get really, especially the stories I've heard about spontaneous Kundalini awakening, which sometimes doesn't even sound that pleasant, but the way I've experienced this energy is I've actually felt it move in different areas, and then I've noticed the different physical things that have coincided with each energy center when I'm having an issue. It's like that's where that energy is like focused for some reason and it wants to clear it. So you might be picking up on some things going on with your body, but that are tied to your psychic energy, your psychism at this time. There's something here about they're just saying there's something here about increased feeling of connection. So there can be like a knowing, but I'm just picking up on more senses here, picking up on more intuitive psychic hits or senses. You may start to be a little bit more clairsentient during this time, where it's like a light switch that's turned on for picking up sensations, like actual physical sensations of what your clairs, your abilities, the information that it's giving you. So it might be a little bit more clairsentient right now. Feeling a lot. Feeling a lot. What else about the High Priestess? And I want you to know, well, they want you to know, if you have been on a vicious cycle for a while, that's ending. That's why Jupiter's here. There's luck. There's growth and expansion in many areas of your life, but the biggest one has to do with whatever that cycle was about. And they're saying changing, going up, going up. Another 2, by the way, 2 of Cups. Kind of, I'm feeling like that is talking about feminine, masculine energy. I think it's talking about Kundalini and it rising up, coming back down again. Something's in really good, your energy is in really good harmony with itself. It's a message of look how far you've come to even get to this point, where in some cycles we feel like something has gotten so out of control or gone on for so long that we've passed this ability to have this point. You know what I'm saying? There's been some sort of work here and shift in your energy, obviously help from spirit, help from the Most High to pump you full of energy that says no, there's this choice point, like right here, right now. And there's times when it feels like you're miles away from that point of it. All of a sudden now it's going way up in the opposite direction, but you're right there. You're at this point. The energy's right. And that's why this reading found you, is because the energy is right to completely switch and flip things ahead. It's not that we can't make changes at any point in the timeline, but I have been there before. I'm telling you from experience of being in a situation where I was in a vicious cycle and it went so freaking downward spiral bad for myself that choice point would be a few years away for me. And I knew that was a really big dark night of the soul, was to realize that choice point wasn't, because there was so much that had happened. So what I'm saying is that this is good news. That's what I'm saying, is this is good news. This means that point is here. And there's lots of reasons why. Sometimes you can physically change every single thing from what it looked like when you were down, way down. And it's not going to shift the energy quite yet, right? So but this is saying, no, the energy is not only shifted, but it's rising. Have this message with the Eight of Pentacles. I'm wondering if this has to do with some sort of work too that you're going to be doing, or that you are doing, or business. Woo! 11-11. Eight of Cups on the bottom. You have 11-11. all the ladies on the card. They're celebrating. Okay, so they're celebrating 11-11 on the angel number messages. It says that the universe is arranging people in the right experiences on your path, so the things that are lined up with you. And this is a card of awakening and actions that have led to celebration, or that will be leading to celebration. This is cause for celebration. There's some sort of path here. See, there's some sort of path that you left behind, or that you're in the process of moving from, away from, because it's like that rotation or revolution. So that action point is when you walked away from this Eight of Cups. You're not in the middle of it. It's not the Five of Cups, basically. Something is really completed for you in that sense. Enough to be detached, because that detachment from these cups leads to your fulfillment, and you understand that. So that might also have something to do with that choice point on that spiral. Where you're going. Yeah. Where you're going. Where are you going? Was that Dave Matthews? He said, where I'm going is where, I don't know. Where are you going? Where are you going song? Ooh, away from the heartbreak. What have you been through? Ooh. That's what you're leaving. It's still here. And leaving it gets you success. Two cards that mean victory, and one card that means your justice. The card that's on the bottom is the Seven of Wands. Asserting yourself, confidence, and knowing what you stand for, not backing down. That's the energy of the Seven of Wands. And look how beautiful these cards are. Now, I mean, this is not beautiful. This is the situation here that you're leaving behind. And the Five of Swords can be an ugly card, you know, where there's other energies that you're dealing with. Even the Three of Swords is an indication that there's three or more forces. You could have had people of energies like just really up against, you know, it feels like to me, if I'm looking at this intuitively, it feels like to me that there were probably other people or energies that used a person who is down, or had already like you were here on the spiral here in your life, and then some type of malicious energy exploited that point. You know what I mean? Oh, look, this person's down. This is that type of energy of fight at all costs, even especially if this person feels down right now. Let's either make them feel worse, let's complicate their life even more. Something that was trying to take advantage of being at a certain spot or point in your life. And that's what I mean by exploit. So, wow, for you to get justice here, these people really hurt. They hurt. They wanted to. The intention was to hurt. These are your sociopaths of the world. It wasn't just win at all costs. It was win at the cost of you and your life and your happiness. And like I said, something was already happening anyway with you here. something that was already happening. You were already in a certain state of mind. You were already in a certain place. You were already not happy with a situation, and then bam. So you do this. So you do this. And this could be something that you're, if you've already done it, congratulations. If you've already moved past these energies, if you are planning on it, then I'm saying you're going to be successful. You're being led to the right path. Sometimes this Four of Wands pops up in readings when I'm being told people are going to be embarking on a new path or a new way. And yeah, you know what to detach from. It's this energy. But there, you had to get to that point to be able to. So, wow. We have two cards that mean victory in the tarot. You have the Six of Wands. You have the Chariot. And wow. What you have overcome, I think you probably know, and you may keep it to yourself, that you have a story that a lot of people couldn't really beat when it comes to a story of what you've had to go through before this. This is the complete polar opposite of what you have been through. It's going to be acknowledged through your energy. Whether you want to talk about things or not, you don't have to. I mean, you're not being like pushed to talk about whatever you've gone through. But your energy will speak for itself that you've accomplished something kind of major in life. This is the energy of, I'm proud. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of my victory at this point. I've earned it. You've earned it. And this Chariot is like, yeah, well, just wait, because the momentum picks up. A card that can represent you're moving from here, you're about to travel, or you're very self-aware, and now this choice point is just going to lead you to more and more success and expansion. And it was inevitable, because the sweet souls that I'm speaking to right now had to go through some pretty dark stuff to even be spiraled to this opposite of an end. See what I'm saying? The scales. Life's always seeking for a balance. Always the energy. And so when you've been through that, you can expect you could expect maybe a parade in your honor. Maybe for real. I was going to say metaphorically, but maybe for real. There's something here where, yeah. These are like the scales here of life. This. And this is what you're moving to. So this is very interesting. This is talking about universal law, divine retribution. It's talking about you having righteous anger. It's meaningful to you, what experience that you went. I'm pretty sure this isn't about you making the scales balanced. Okay, let me point that out for one thing, and I will never advocate for that. You're not the one that's forcing anything. It is the universe that is going to take action, appropriate action towards the energies that had the nerve to kind of get you while you're down, hurt you more while you're down, exploit you while you're a divine child. There's just something here with, and it may even be intertwined with that, with some sort of purpose that you also have, so the universe takes care of it. And this Justice card is like, it's kind of a no mercy card when it comes to that sword comes down and you get your justice. You're very protected, because the people I'm talking to did not try to stoop low. At the level these people had to get to do what they did to somebody in a bad position as it is, or that was bad off at the time, which is changing. But you will see justice served And it may be in the form of grand success and expansion that others get to witness. And I'm happy because your success is my success. I really feel that we are one love vibe, like with everyone. And eventually, whatever happens to these people or these energies, eventually they may turn and decide that they want to be more on the light side of things. But until then, we deal with this type of duality. And I just see you so confident in knowing that this is already taken care of. This is already handled. Whatever that was. Okay. We could do let's see. Let's do an animal spirit, actually. And then we'll pull from the 108 Oracle. And of course, you always stand up for yourself and defend yourself. This isn't about that. I'm saying not having to take your own revenge on somebody or some energies, because your justice is coming by the energy that you have faith in to lead you up. That energy takes care of it. There's the zebra. Everyone likes to be around the zebra. That's what I always think. I had a picture of a zebra too on my wall when I was a kid. I love the zebra. The zebra has a different type of point of view. They're eccentric people, maybe artistic people. They're different. They stand out. They're different from the rest. And like I said, everybody wants a zebra personality around them. So you have the oyster and you have the tarantula. And the oyster has actually popped up on my feed here lately a lot. So the oyster is about opening up to any kind of experience you want. That's why they say the world is your oyster. So the world is your oyster now. You will be able to have a lot of good experiences. Remember, there's always this pearl that we can think of, this wisdom, experiential wisdom, through everything that you've been through. Yeah. Tarantula here is talking about your divine purpose and being at a crossroads where there's going to be an important decision, but it's directly related to either your dharma or your life purpose. It's a big card to get. The tarantula is. So you may be seeing that also on your feed lately or coming up. The tarantula, the zebra, the oyster. Yeah, I think that the Chariot card is talking about travel for a lot of you all. So because I have map with exploration, find your way, locate unknown destination, new territory, lay of the land, plan, prepare, chart a course, read the signs, figure it out, directions, and a new perspective. A virtuous cycle. And then the eclipse, the union of opposites, the conceal, event, mask, upstage, merge, transform, camouflage, hide, overshadow, loss of power, temporary block, support, sudden darkness, and a reveal. So it's about a reveal, I think. A reveal. And it's also talking about a very opposite experience, because you're getting to see the light after it was made very dark for a little while. So it makes you appreciate the light. Woo! Another card. Wow. Another card that is very similar to this Six of Wands, because it is a 6 and it says flag. with achievement, recognition, overthrow, success, victory, winner, conquest, mastery, bragging rights, carry the day. Plans are coming to fruition, and king of the mountain, because you have the rainbow here. You have a pot of gold and you have a wish granted, serendipity, blessing, patience pays off, abundance, hope, good luck, patience, promise, godsend, creation, manifesting wealth, prosperity, and perfect timing. Yeah. All right, now let's pull an angel number message. And if you're interested or you need a private reading from me, just to let you know, they're pre-recorded and the information's in the description box below. Make sure you put in the notes what you would like to know. You can always email me or ask a question on in the description box. There's my email address. Okay, I have 13. I am confident. You are a conscientious worker with a knack for coming up with creative ideas and turning them into something real. An optimistic but practical outlook keeps you determined and on track as you work steadily towards your goals. Oh, and you got 111, which you had the portal 111 in your message, as part of your message. Yay. Okay. Yeah. Angels are fully ready to support you in this endeavor so that you can co-create with the universe a life you love. I'm creative. 0, there is no beginning and no end. All is infinite. It is time to develop your spiritual side. You are gaining new sight and understanding of both godly and earthly things. I am limitless. And 13 says, even though I do associate 13 with the death card and endings or final chapters and marking the arrival of something new, this card has a different spin on it. It says, you are a conscientious worker with a knack for coming up with creative ideas and turning them into something real. An optimistic but practical outlook keeps you determined and on track as you work steadily towards your goals. I am confident. I am confident. I am charismatic. I am limitless. I am creative. That's what I have. I'm sending you love and light. Thank you so much for joining me. Well, hope you have a great week and honestly, a great victory coming up. I think this is a January, though. I am going to time it as a January 2026 card of predicting what's to come for you. Yeah. So, bye.